Gerry Duggan and Pepe Larraz introduce us to Captain Krakoa, the mutant's brand new superhero, as Sunfire races against time to stop Fei Long from landing on Arakko and starting all-out war between the Arakkii and humans. Gerry Duggan continues his huge branching storyline for the X-Men by introducing us to a brand new character who, right off the bat, we're told is merely a propaganda tool for the Quiet Council. I thoroughly enjoyed Duggan continuing to play with the idea of Scott defying the Council by not listening to them and setting up his own X-Men separate from their rule, and something they can't put their fingers in and manipulate. It's a fantastic way to take the character, and along with the huge ending, which sees the Council somehow make Cyclops die in public, something we'll actually see in an upcoming issue, and that has forced him to adopt the Captain Krakoa in order to keep on being on the X-Men. This also means he begins to make choices that would see him go against his own people, so I'm intrigued to see what that does, since it's so genius and continues this really great sinister nature of Krakoa that I've absolutely loved about the Hickman era. No one's hands are clean, and I like that we can explore that and actually have that as part of the story. Fei Long's storyline continues and takes some really big leaps here, with him setting up a huge Orchis base on Phobos, the moon of Arakko, and in turn forcing Arakko to attack and Sunfire to be caught in the middle of it all. I absolutely loved how they played with Fei Long and Sunfire and their relationship, and how petty Fei Long can be, even going so far as to bring up bitter old age rivalries between the Japanese, which Sunfire is, and the Chinese, which Fei Long is, which I thought was quite interesting, and it kind of plays on the whole mutant-human sort of dynamic as well. Pepe Larraz rejoins the book to help with all of this pretty huge storytelling, bringing back his grand scale action and fantastic page layouts. Marte Garcia's bright colours also makes Larraz's cool character designs just pop off the page really well. X-Men issue 6 was a pretty big issue with some pretty big consequences, leaping a number of plots forward to some exciting places while also revealing some new threats that looks to change the journeys of some pretty important mutants within the X-Men like Cyclops. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. X-Men issue 6 finds Mutant Kind's brand new hero Captain Krakoa save a cat from a tree, returning it to the two children who have been trying to get him down. The hero excuses himself as there is more trouble, travelling around the world and saving people, stopping robbers and lighting the Christmas tree in Rockefeller. Spider-Man soon meets with the hero, welcoming him to New York as Captain says that he is a big fan of the hero, introducing himself to Spidey. 6 days prior, Scott tells the Quiet Council he will not have Captain Krakoa on the X-Men and they cannot make him take the hero. Xavier says that he is proud that Scott broke away from them and established the X-Men himself, but the third law of Krakoa means they must respect the Sacred Land and the Quiet Council will fulfill that obligation. Scott wants to know if this is unanimous, but Emma knows that even after everything Krakoa has given away, people still don't recognize them, so this won't work. Xavier wants to discuss this at depth, but Scott puts his foot down, wanting a vote now. Xavier allows him to stay for the vote as they all vote in favor of Captain Krakoa joining the X-Men, with the motion garnering unanimous support, with Mr. Sinister abstaining. Scott storms out of the council as elsewhere, Sunfire begins his mission to return Fei Long to Earth, contacting Sword Station 2 and telling them that he is tracking the billionaire and as soon as he touches down on Arakko, he'll escort him back to Earth. Sunfire blasts off, reassuring Sword that if the Arakkii don't want the gear Fei Long has bought, he'll turn it to slag. Above the planet, Fei Long's rocket separates, with the man knowing that once he's touched down, he'll arrange landings for the fleet behind him, and if he doesn't survive, the computer is to send out some pre-recorded messages. Fei Long spots the moon of Arakko, readying for landing as Sunfire notices he's going to crash into Phobos. The billionaire soon sets down on the small moon, knowing this isn't how he envisioned it, but it will do. Sunfire confronts him, telling him he's going back to Earth, but Fei Long says that he'll go back to Earth in his own time, telling the X-Man to leave. The other ships soon land as Sunfire wants to know what the man is hoping to accomplish on this small moon. Fei Long wants to make history, not caring who he is upsetting on Mars. Sunfire reminds him he cannot stay there, but Fei knows that he can and will, having brought everything he needed, and Sunfire is the one who will be leaving. The billionaire notices that Sunfire is Japanese, telling him that he is Chinese and their grandfathers may have faced off against one another in battle, and here they are millions of miles away from Earth still locked in conflict, but the stakes are much higher now. Sunfire says that mutantdom isn't at war with the humans as Fei Long tells his computer to send a transmission, telling Sunfire his mindset is why why they will lose. On Arakko, Iska the Unbeaten finds it brave that a human is making camp on their doorstep. Vornak says that he'll deal with it, knowing that it will be fun as he takes off for Phobos. Sunfire attacks Fei Long, reminding the human that he is his only friend there, but Fei Long finds that cute that the mutant thinks that he's friends with him. Vornak arrives, proclaiming that his axe was the one that killed Amenthil, the goddess of pain. Sunfire tells him that he is handling the situation as Fei Long proclaims that he now owns Phobos. Vornak is glad that he is trying to take a piece of Arakko, attacking both Sunfire and Fei Long. Sunfire is forced to blow apart the Araki's axe, telling him to stand down or he will kill him. Vornak doesn't care what the men want, since this is the best fight he's had since Ameth and they destroyed his axe. So today is a great day. He picks up one of Fei Long's station modules, attacking Sunfire with it as he tells the men that today will be even better if both are dead. Vornak admires Fei Long though, since he travelled far and he has died well. Fei Long, however, doesn't plan on dying, unleashing a green blast out of his mouth and obliterates Vornak entirely, shocking Sunfire, who tells the leaving human that this won't be ending today. Fei Long is counting on it, just wanting a worthy nemesis. Fei Long boards his ship as Sunfire calls into Storm, telling her his escort took an unexpected turn. Days later, Fei Long transforms Phobos into a human foothold in the stars, converting the moon into an Orchis base covered with a shield, with drone ships delivering everything Orchis needs to make a permanent base above Arakko. While surveying the surface, the team found a corpse of Nightcrawler, incorporating it into the fabrication of the science station. Inside the base, Fei Long opens a channel to all of Orchis, telling them that Operation Phobos is a huge success. Sometime later, outside of the X-Men treehouse in New York, the people of New York mourn the death of Cyclops as Captain Krakoa arrives. The people are sorry for the hero's loss, since Cyclops was their favourite. The captain says that they are there to make sure this never happens again. The captain heads inside, activating a button on his helmet which dissolves the hologram, revealing Captain Krakoa is really Cyclops. Cinch notes that by the man's new costume, the council told him no. Scott tells Everett they did, and the way he died was so public and there was no wiggle room. He tells him that he's leaving through the secret subway entrance, wanting to clear his head. Donning his civilian clothes, Scott calls Ben Urich from the subway, pretending to be one of Scott's old friends, telling the reporter the mutant told him about the story Ben is working on and one that could win him a Pulitzer. He tells him that he's got some info that he wants to tell Ben, wanting to meet with him and to talk about it. Ben agrees but doesn't remember even writing some big Pulitzer winning story, not even knowing if he met Cyclops before, but he seemed like a good guy. Scott realizes what the council have done, hanging up the phone and sitting alone in the quiet subway.